Bus operators in Sydney. Sydney, Australia is served by a number of bus operators, with the state government's State Transit Authority the largest operator in Sydney, and ComfortDelGro Australia, the largest operator in New South Wales as of September 2018 when the company took over Forest Coachwa. Other major operators include Busways, Transdev NSW and Transit Systems Sydney. Most services are provided as part of the city's integrated public transport system with routes, fares, service levels, fleet specifications and customer service standards determined by Transport for NSW. A small number of services operate outside of this network. History. Until the 1990s, all of Sydney's private bus services were run by family-owned companies. The Passenger Transport Act 1990, requiring average fleet ages to be maintained at no more than 12 years and minimum service levels, resulted in many of the smaller operators selling out to larger operators. But even these larger operators, such as Baxter's Busways, North and Western, Shorelink, South Trans, Transit First and Westbus, were still owned by Australian families. In the late 1990s and early 2000s, multinational transport operators including Connex, ComfortDelGro, National Express and Transdev began to buy up some of these larger operators. In March 2004, the Minister for Transport released the final report of Barry Unsworth's review of bus services in NSW. At that stage, Sydney's bus operating contracts were divided into 87 contract areas. After recommendations from Unsworth's report, the contract regions were consolidated into 15 regions with 7-year contracts negotiated with the operators. These contracts are known as Sydney Metropolitan Bus Service contracts. Contract regions. Bus contracts in Sydney are known as the Sydney Metropolitan Bus Service contracts SMBSC. There are 14 contract regions as of January 2018. List of current bus operators in Sydney. Busways operates bus services in the Campbelltown and Camden areas. Also operates services in Wagga Wagga as Busways Wagga Wagga. Busways operates bus services in the Blacktown, Mount Druitt, Penrith, Windsor, St Mary's, Richmond and Rouse Hill areas, as well as services on the North West T-Way. Also operates services in Central Coast and Northern NSW. Forest Coach Lines operates bus services in Region 14, Sydney's northern suburbs linking the city and Lower and Mid-North Shore. A subsidiary of ComfortDelGro Australia since September 2018. Hillsbus, a subsidiary of ComfortDelGro Australia, operates Region 4 bus services from depots at Dural, Northmead and Seven Hills and runs services in the Bauckham Hills, Rouse Hill and Blacktown areas, as well as services on the North West T-Way. Interline Bus Services operates bus services out of a depot in Macquarie Fields in the Liverpool and Glenfield area. Mayinbar Bundina Bus Service operates a bus service between Mayinbar and Bundina. Punchbowl Bus Company operate bus services in the south and inner southwestern suburbs from a depot at Riverwood. Also operates services in Galburn as PBC Galburn. State Transit Government operator, a subsidiary of Transport for NSW, operates bus services in the northern suburbs, city, and eastern suburbs. Transdev NSW independent operator, operates bus services in Sydney's southern suburbs, Hornsby area and the upper North Shore. Transit Systems Sydney operates bus services in Western Sydney and services on the Liverpool Parramatta T-Way, and from July 2018 the Inner West. Keely's Downer Northern Beaches operates Region 8 bus services in the Northern Beaches City and the Lower and Mid-North Shore. Also operates on-demand services on the Northern Beaches. A subsidiary of Keely's Downer. List of defunct bus operators in Sydney. In the past, many of Sydney's bus services were operated by small companies, particularly in the middle and outer suburbs. Some of these companies only operated 1 or 2 routes. Most operated before the current revised route numbers and contract areas were introduced. Most defunct operators either had their companies acquired, had all their services transferred to other operators, merged to form larger companies, or renamed. A change of ownership without a change of operator name is not considered defunct. Some operators do not operate public routes or services anymore but still operate as charter companies. Currently, charter/tour operators. These operators, though not operating public routes anymore, still operate charter and / or tour services. Australia-wide Coaches operates charter services from the Mascot area. Never operated Sydney bus routes but operates a coach service between Sydney and Orange. Baxter's Bus Lines, trading name of Holroyd Bus Lines Thai Limited, operated bus services in the western suburbs. Granville, Base Hill services transferred to Veolia Transport NSW and Transit First respectively in January 2005. The rest of the services Region 3 were sold to Westbus in 2006. Remains a tour and charter company only. Crothers Bus Link operated bus services in and around Miranda, Cronulla and Kurnell until services were taken over by Veolia Transport NSW in 2009. Remains a coach charter company. Hopkinson's operated services in the Parramatta and Marylands area Region 3 until 13 October 2013, when routes were transferred to Transit Systems Sydney. Remains a tour and charter company. Metrolink Bus Lines operated feeder buses in Sydney's south, west to Liverpool Station Region 3 until 13 October 2013, when routes were transferred to Transit Systems Sydney. Remains a coach charter company. Moore's Tours operated Route 954 from a depot in Blakehurst until 2004, when route taken over by Punchbowl Bus Company. Was an associated company of Harris Park Transport until 2004. Remains a charter operator only. Murray's operated routes 6 and 49 in southern Sydney until they were sold to Brighton Bus Lines in October 1982. Remains and has grown into a large coach charter company. Sydney Coach Lines operated routes 6, 49 and 68. Route 49 taken over by Pioneer Coaches and routes 6 and 68 by Sydney Buses in October 1996. Remains a coach charter company. Renamed or merged operators. Campbelltown Transit Company operated services in Campbelltown. Rebranded as Busways in 1988, Caringbah Bus Service operated bus services in Sydney's south. Services sold to Veolia Transport NSW in October 2011. Now a charter company, with the name Tiger Tours, was sold to Telfords in June 2015. Connex Southtrans operated bus services in Sydney's south. Later renamed Connex NSW in 2002, then rebranded as Veolia Transport NSW in April 2006. Dean's Coaches South renamed Southtrans in 1989, later taken over by Connex in 1999. Now operates as Transdev NSW. Glenorrhea Bus Company, rebranded as Hillsbus in December 2004, along with Westbus Hills District routes. Hawkesbury Valley Buses operated services in northwestern Sydney Region 1 until the 6 October 2013, when routes were transferred to Busways. Same ownership as Busabout since the 1990s. Continued as a charter company, but ceased 24 April 2017. Caton and Heath founded 1956. Became Bustrans in 1996. Hornsby Bus Group operated services in the North Shore. Renamed Shorelink in 1988. Liverpool Transport Company bought by the Calabro family in 1994, then retained this operating name until 2001, when it was merged with the Calabro's neighboring Busabout operations. MacArthur Coaches operated services in MacArthur and Camden. Rebranded as Busways in 1988, Marrickville Bus Lines operated Route 448 in Marrickville until route was transferred to State Transit in 2004. Now a charter company trading as Telford's Bus and Coach. Revesby Bus and Coach service merged into Crossley Bus Lines and renamed in 1996. Rose Bus Service rebranded as Busways in 1988. Shorelink operated services in the North Shore, previously known as Hornsby Bus Group prior to 1998. Renamed Transdev TSL Shorelink in 2008 before reverting to Transdev Shorelink buses in 2010. Operations absorbed into Transdev NSW in 2014. Veolia Transport NSW operated bus services in Sydney's south, rebranded as Transdev NSW in July 2013. Westbus Hills District routes rebranded as Hillsbus in December 2004. Other Westbus routes were unaffected by the rebranding. Westbus, a subsidiary of ComfortDelGro Australia, operated services in Western Sydney in Region 1 until the 6 October 2013 and Region 3 until the 13 October 2013. Westbus was replaced by Busways in Region 1 and Transit Systems Sydney in Region 3. Charter work is now done by CDC Travel. Westway Bus and Coach Service rebranded as Transit First in 2003. Warrenora Bus Service operated services in Warrenora, renamed Menai Bus Service in the 1970s. Other defunct operators: